All right, I ended up putting it on Google Sheets because Excel was giving me a ton of issues. So quickly, these are the numbers that are projected based on e-commerce sales that I found. So this top column right here, it's total e-commerce sales in all of the UAE. And if you come to column 6, this breaks it down to only what's happening in Dubai, which is where you're launching first. Um, so Dubai's percentage on total packages per year from the e-commerce at 32% gets you about 38,000 packages. And eButler, if eButler manages to capture 1% in its first year, which is 2022 in Dubai, that's 385,000 packages. And if you're charging 15% commission on these packages, what ends up happening is the total number of packages times the 15% times however much money you're averaging per package. So I have it at 225 riyals now per package. So you can actually change these numbers and see how these numbers change uh, very quickly. So if in year one, if you're expecting total costs for the company, for instance, to be like 4 million riyals, you can mess around with these numbers to get them to where you think they're reasonable. For instance, if I say we're going to average 60 riyals per package instead of 225, so basically every transaction that happens, we're averaging 60 riyals for each person that pays. So if I change it to 60, the revenue is 3.466 million riyals per year. So if we know our costs are going to be like 4 million riyal, we know that if we are making 60 riyals per package, we're going to be losing money. So this is kind of a way to approach it. So let's say your target would be 70 riyals per package, and that would get you at a break-even point if you have 4 million in cost. But this is how you play around with the numbers. You can change these as you please, but in essence, you have total sales and then Dubai specific sales, and then eButler's capturing 1% of the Dubai share, which is 32% of e-commerce sales, which e-commerce sales are like 10% of total sales, if not less than that. So this is a very conservative number, and this is your revenue that you're expecting to make. So you would change this basically based on how you feel you can actually achieve in Dubai as compared to Qatar. So if you have a transaction average in Qatar, maybe you can start with that and play around with the numbers that way. Down here, I put this in here just for you to just look at. So in essence, eButler, if you decide you don't want to charge a percentage, or you're charging a percentage to the businesses, but you're not charging the customers anything. So you're making your money because you charge the businesses the 15%. You can potentially launch a subscription model if eButler becomes something very useful and people like it and it's beneficial and you end up getting people to subscribe. I put this together. So from the total number of packages in Dubai, the 26,000, I said the estimated number of packages per year per user is about 10 per person. So you have about 2.6 million users. So the percentage that you expect that would subscribe from the customers, 1%, 2%, 3%. And if you're charging them 150 riyals per year, for example, to use eButler, this is another potential revenue source. This is just for you to play around with. Maybe you don't want to launch a revenue source, so you would change these to 0. But if you eventually do want to launch a subscription model where customers subscribe, and this way you're making this revenue from businesses and this revenue from customers. But this is just there for you to just look at. The 10x or 10x that you talked about. So there's 24,299 apartments in Dubai. So I said if you capture 5% in the first year, that's 1,215 apartments. You said you're charging 60 riyals per year. That's your revenue generation. So if you increase your market share to 15% and then to 25%, this is how much revenue you're generating from this channel. And then we can keep adding different revenue channels, but this is in essence how you do the projections. And then you would add the total of all channels that you want to use to get the total projected revenue for that year, so you can use that to get investments. And that's it.